On sunny summer days, the Eiffel Tower shines in the bright sunlight. Did you know it actually gets a little taller when it's warm? Sometimes it even looks bigger than usual. Aren't you curious how that happens? The tall tower stands proudly over the city of Paris. This is the Eiffel Tower. It looks huge and really amazing against the bright blue sky. When you get close, it looks even taller. Did you know the Eiffel Tower is made out of metal? Metal is the same stuff we use for pots and pans, or even toy cars at home. But the Eiffel Tower is much, much bigger and heavier than anything in your house. Today, we're going to discover some cool secrets about this giant metal tower. Are you excited to find out more? Metal can change a little bit when it gets warm or cold. If you put a metal rod in the sunshine, it will stretch out just a tiny bit. It's kind of like how a rubber band gets longer when you pull it. When it gets cold again, the metal shrinks right back. If you could zoom in really close, you'd see that metal is made of lots of tiny pieces. When metal gets warm, those little pieces start to push each other away. That's why the whole piece of metal gets a little longer. When you look at a small piece of metal at home, you probably can't see it change at all. But something huge like the Eiffel Tower is different. On a hot summer day, the Eiffel Tower can actually get about 6 inches taller. That's a pretty big change. So, just how much does the Eiffel Tower grow when it's warm? Let's take a closer look and find out together. When the Eiffel Tower soaks up lots of sunshine, it actually gets a little taller. On a really sunny day, it can grow as much as 15 centimeters. That's about as wide as a car tire, or about as tall as stacking a few children's books on top of each other. Pretty big, right? It's amazing that a huge building like the Eiffel Tower can change like this. Can you imagine what it would feel like to see it happen in real life? But does the Eiffel Tower stay stretched out forever after it grows in the sun? Let's find out. When summer ends and the weather starts to cool down, the metal in the Eiffel Tower cools off too. The parts that stretched out in the heat slowly shrink back as the air gets chilly. On a cold winter morning, with frost sparkling all around, the Eiffel Tower returns to its regular size once again. Don't worry, this doesn't hurt the Eiffel Tower or break it at all. It's just something that happens every year, just like the seasons changing. So, the Eiffel Tower's height changes a tiny bit with each season. Isn't it amazing how something so big can move and change with the weather? Have you ever seen a long train track on a sunny summer day? If you look closely, you might spot little gaps between the rails. The rails are made of metal, and when the sun shines on them in summer, they get a tiny bit longer. That's why train tracks always have small spaces between each rail. Those little gaps help trains travel safely down the tracks. Thanks to the spaces, the rails have room to grow when it gets hot, and trains can zoom along without any problems. Let's think about your toy cars at home. Some of the tiny parts inside are made of metal too. They can change just a little bit, but it's so small you can't see it with your eyes. Big things like bridges and tall towers are also built with metal. Builders have to remember that metal can stretch or shrink a bit. Knowing this helps them make strong and safe buildings. Now, let's go over what we learned today. When it gets warm in summer, the metal in the Eiffel Tower stretches and the tower grows a little taller. When the weather turns cold again, it goes back to its usual size. This kind of change happens to lots of metal things around us, like train tracks, metal bridges, and fences. Today, we discovered the secret of how the Eiffel Tower changes with the seasons. I can't wait to share another fun story with you next time. See you soon!